Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Greg. I'm going to go over some other coins, altcoins that I explained that I was going to do in the previous video that I just published out there on the YouTubes. And this is all Bitcoin dependent. You got to remember that, guys. So if Bitcoin is in a bounce and it's a corrective bounce and swinging back down, pretty much all bets kind of go away with the rest of the market. But I'm going to explain through the other altcoins that there's a really good shot that Bitcoin had a bottom. I would say there's a higher than 50% probability. I'll say that higher than 50% probability. I explained that previous video, what Bitcoin needs to do to get 100% confirmation. You can go watch that one. But for the time being, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over some other coins. In that situation, also some other assets. So the USDT chart, I want to go over this one with you too, guys. So you want to pay attention to this one right here. It's let me go to a daily chart. It's way down into the RSI. That doesn't mean that it's just going to start doing a serious bounce. It could do a correction in this area and not go very high and then swing back down again. But it's definitely in an area that is interesting where there's going to probably be a swing back up, meaning there's going to be a correction. So more than likely Bitcoin, maybe Bitcoin can have a thrust up to like 22, 21.5, 21.6, maybe up to 22. And then maybe this is going to do a correction back up. And then this is like, it's in a new trend possibly, and it's coming back down that way. So that's just areas that I'm looking at. But I'm going to go through some coins and explain to you the DXY too. You want to pay attention. DXY is at a bottom. It's definitely an area of interest too, where there could be it could start trending back up, dragging everything back down too. So Aave, here on the daily chart. Looking at Aave in this correction area, it hit 0.886. I just look at this, came down into this wave sequence here. Just still paying attention to Aave. You can't rule it out a three-wave swing. It does definitely look like it could swing back down, but it has a pretty strong wave out of there. Cardano was another one. It did. I thought that 24 cents was definitely going to be an area of interest, but here it is with Cardano is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Come up, complete that, or maybe go a little bit higher, 39 cents, and then correction area, checking on a correction. Aptos is another one I went over to explain that. AmpliFi is doing really well. Made a Twitter post on that. I thought $19 was the bottom potentially for Aptos. Not Aptos, AmpliFi, excuse me, AmpliFi. Which, by the way, I have this coin. I've been picking this up in those areas well below the $25 area for this coin. And this has a good setup. So it's either in 1, 2, it's going into a third wave, or it's A, B, and it's going to a strong C wave. And that C wave probably be very strong, swift, and sharp if it's going into a C wave. Like it probably won't even last but 30 or 45 days. But here's the thing. I'm looking at this. Let me go to an 8-hour chart. It actually looks like it could be looking pretty good, guys. So you could have a wave 1 here too, and this could be the third wave. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it could be off. This one could be definitely starting going off, guys. So look into the fundamentals too of it. It's not looking to DeFi. It's in the DeFi annuity space in the cryptocurrency market. I went over Aptos. Let me see. A0, I'll go over that a little bit later. That's another one that I like too, guys. So let me see here. Chiliz. Chiliz is another one. Okay. Chiliz in this area. Let me go to a daily chart. Check this out. You have a really good shot with that reaction that Chiliz has down there is you got to rule out a flat now. I was thinking of flat, but Chiliz could have had that bottom right there about 10 cents, and it's back up to what, 13 cents already. And Chiliz has a good setup with a 1-2 setup, okay? Or if you're bearish, it's A, B, C. So more than likely, there's a wave sequence over here. It's going to do one over here, guys, more than likely, okay? So Bitcoin pushes up a little bit more. As an example, it could go up a little bit more. But when Bitcoin is either going to go into a fourth wave correction or it's going to dump, okay? That's going to be the option. So if this, like right here, if this is A, B, C, like this, if Bitcoin is doing A, B, C, and it gets up there, it will have probably a pretty significant dump. But if it's a fourth wave, it'll probably take a lot of time. And then over here with Chiliz, that's when you could pick up Chiliz is what would be my best guess with that one, guys. So I have Chiliz. I decided to risk it for the biscuit and pick up a little bit of Chiliz down a little bit lower. I was like, this is starting to look like it probably could have been a bottom for Chiliz right there, guys. So Fantom, another one to go Fantom real quick. Fantom's starting to do pretty good. You have to really consider if that was the bottom back in November for Fantom, guys. I wouldn't sweat it too much. Fantom come down, it'll correct these waves, and you can still pick it up in these areas. So I don't see Fantom doing a moonshot out of there anytime soon. But this is a pretty, when this coin rips, it rips. I mean, you can see right here, back in March of 2020, you see from here to here, smoke show. Okay, so it did a correction, another smoke show. And it corrected that one, another smoke show. This right here was a smoke show. I was in that. I traded that right there. That right there, $1.25 up to 340, smoke show. So when Fantom, it goes bullish, it's a smoke show. So it'll be smoke show, correct smoke show. You watch Fantom, guys. It'll be a smoke show. People will be talking about it. ICP was one here. I screwed up on this one. In a minute, screwed up on this one. This is what I'm looking for ICP, guys. So it came down in this goofy sequence, whether it's a 5 wave or some sort of weird WXY wave, remains to be seen. But I'm looking for this right here on ICP, guys. Okay, so here's the thing I'm going to do with ICP. This has been beaten down so much. The fundamentals of as ICP is a blockchain is really, really good. So that can't be ignored with ICP. Okay, so at some point, somewhere along the lines, this thing's going to pump. It's going to pump. I know it's going to pump. So it's let it go to this third wave, fourth wave, and then into the fifth, and then get on this a correction. That's what I'm suspecting that it's going to do. This is a good shot that it could do that. So it would probably follow Bitcoin. When a 1-2, so maybe Bitcoin's in a 3, it comes back down to a 4 like Bitcoin, and maybe it's going to do a 5, and then you pick it up. It probably won't even be that shallow. So like right here, here's the fourth as an example. It'll go to the fifth. It'll correct back down to that fourth. Okay. So not a big deal. I don't feel so bad about this because if you held on to your ICP where I told you to get it, you're almost like you basically break even. So this it'll eventually get out of there, guys, in 2023. It just might not be as much as expected with it. Lido is once again it's pumping. I mentioned that on Lido, guys. I said, look, this coin right here is going to pump, and it just pumped sooner than I expected. I exited out early. Of course, I regret it, but that's how it goes in cryptocurrency. You are never satisfied with your entries or your exits. You never, ever will be. I've never had one. Oh, yeah, that was perfect. It's never happened to me. Not me. So Metis is another one. You have to take a serious look at this one, guys. Could have had a bottom right there off that wave. Second wave correction, nice and deep, and it's working on making probably a new sequence in this area. So at the end of the day, what am I saying? What I'm saying is that a lot of these coins are looking like they're forming a bottom or going into a bottom forming process. So what does that mean? More than likely, maybe Bitcoin's doing the same thing. That's how I'm looking at that. You could take a look at the other assets that I go over too. I'm not going to go over them right now because I go over them quite a bit, but looking at Mara, MicroStrategy, the other minor coins, the minor stocks, MicroStrategy, it could have done a bottom right there at 136. Okay, 136 on MicroStrategy. MicroStrategy's bottom, more than likely. What is the result over here is that Bitcoin. Let me go back over to Bitcoin. Bitcoin could have formed a bottom. Okay, so that's how I'm looking at it, guys. And now I'm going to go over another coin here, Barnbridge, real quick. Okay, here's Barnbridge, a lower time frame. This right here, okay, this looks like a 3-wave move. Okay, look at that. Looks like a 3-wave move, but it's open for debate. Where did the chart go? It's open for debate. I'm on a day. Oh, no, I want to go back to a 1-hour chart. Excuse me, guys. It's open for debate on what that was over there. I've been checking it out because it's like looking really, really bullish to me. And this could have been a 5-wave move right here too. you can't rule that out with Barn Bridge. Okay, you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got divergence on the 1 hour. That's when you look for divergences on these lower time frames, they can be very misleading. So you got to be careful. So the divergence gets erased on the 2 hour. Okay, so the signal is pointing towards a 3-wave move. You can't rule that out. However, it came up into this wave, 50% up, and it came back over here. And then here's what I'm noticing with Barn Bridge, guys, is you got this, and then you have this, basically a double bottom area. So that looks really good. Back out to a 12-hour chart. Not only do you have a double bottom in that area, I just put it there, you got another one here and here. So a double bottom here and here, and a double bottom there to there. Okay, there to there and there to there, and it's going up into a wave. It's looking like 1, 2. This is third wave back up, fourth wave, and then this is the trend. Check this trend out right here to here, and it might come back down to the trend is what I'd be checking out with this. You can check this trend just like in this area back down to there. Okay, so now I'm going to go over the overall picture with you looking at Barn Bridge. Okay, so let me remove my stuff right here for the time being. Okay, so Barn Bridge has this massive wave. It has this massive wave. So it has proven to us that it can go bullish. That's an 8x, 9x move that it made. So it can prove to us that it went bullish, and that's a really good move. So overall picture, see, it came out in October of 20, and it did your typical dump. So what does this remind you of? This reminds you of Aptos, right? Aptos came out, went up a little bit, now went into a dump, and now Aptos has gone bullish. This is a different example because January 21, it went bullish for a little while. March of 21, all the cryptocurrencies, not all of them, but most of them peaked between March, February, and May of 21, and they've been in a downtrend. Go look at Chainlink. Go look at, what's another good example of that coin? I can't think of any off the top of my head, but most of the coins peaked in that area. So it's been in a 2-year correction, and in June of 22, it could have made a bottom right there, okay? Now, the bearish way of looking at this is a flat. That's a massive flat. That's a massive flat. It's very hard to get a flat out of that. So it could have done a bottom, it ripped out of there, and then now you're in this area. So worst case scenario, I would say, is that more than likely you got ABC, okay? Something like that, okay? Or it's 1, 2, and it's going into a third wave. So that's the risk. I just see the reward for this one with the signals is probably pretty good. There's not a lot of interest in this coin. Not a lot of people talking about that, which is to me a good signal, and it's getting ready for a pump. So everything looks pretty decent in my opinion. Here's a downtrend line I have on logarithmic, and it's busted out of that. Has a low, nice and deep in the RSI. Like I said, double bottom to there, double bottom there, and somebody was asking, where do you pick it up at? The issue with coins like this is they could go up, and just have a shallow correction and rip out of there. Like, look over here, same thing, up and away, back down, up and away, back down, and start ripping. So, I mean, I would be saying that it's going to go up some more and then probably do a shallow correction, or it might come back down to the trend. So it just all depends. This is the type of coin that could miss it. Bitcoin's going to go up a little bit more. This one, Bitcoin might go into a correction. Okay. And then this will be dragged down, and then this would be the area of interest, I would think. So to me, it's looking pretty good, guys. It's actually looking pretty decent. It has the same, and I put this on Twitter too. It has that same fractal as Bitcoin. Bitcoin made a similar move all the way like this, and it was playing in there just like Bitcoin, and it's starting to go up and just like this. So, I would say that you're taking a serious risk of missing out if you're not in it yet. You're going to have to ride it. You're going to have to take this risk right here of 16, 17%. And then also too, this is your low that you be playing off of. The $3.09 or $3 basically is that what I would think. If it comes back down and breaks that, you have a good shot that it's probably gone bearish. And then obviously your ultimate low, I would say that candle body of $2.35. So here's your risk with this coin. Let's say you get at the trend, there's your risk of, you know, 25 to 30% risk right there for a potential move over here like that. So that's what I would be saying with this coin. But it does look really, really good. It's looking like it's setting up to do a pretty good, decent run over here, guys. That's how I'm looking at it. That's why I'm interested in the coin. It kind of like nobody's interested in it. Nobody's talking about that. I like to get in coins before they do that. You know, kind of like synthetics. I made a video about synthetics. Nobody's talking about that. It possibly formed a bottom. That's the other thing is too. Synthetics is. Let me go over synthetics real quick with you guys. Okay, I'll show you something here. Where's synthetics? I know it's in my list somewhere over here. So here's synthetics, right? I'm going to show you on the daily chart. You see where it peaked? February of 21, just like the Barn Bridge coin over here. Okay. February was it? It was March of 21, more or less. Okay, March of 21. Here's synthetics, February 20. It's been in a downtrend ever since. And this, to me, on top of this wave, made a previous video about that, is a very, very good area of interest for this coin. Nice reaction out of there. And then, obviously, I told you I've been picking up here. I didn't get in over there because I wanted to see what this was going to do, and in descending wedge. So you take it off of, put it on linear, you can see this is a nice boom, 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 just like that. Nice, pretty wedge. And then you can get it up onto a correction and it'll get out of there. So going over here at Barn Bridge, right, it's kind of the same thing. It's kind of doing the same thing. It's a similar type deal over here. And then let me go over to Bitcoin. If synthetics is forming, has a bottom, then, you know, maybe Bitcoin's going up in a fourth wave correction, fifth wave, and then it'll do a three-wave move over here. That's what I'm going to be looking for. That's when we have confirmation. I still think Bitcoin's going to hit 22K, guys. You have a good shot. I think this is a fourth wave. Come back down here, boom, like this. This is what I'm looking for down here, like this. Down this trend, boom, and it'll come back up. It doesn't even have to break that on the RSI, but some move like that will push it up to 22K. All right, guys, that's the end of my video update here on Barn Bridge. I hope that answers the questions for you. Look, it's not financial advice. I can't tell you when to get into this or when not to get into something like this. That the risk is that, you know, these things, like, they like to start like just going up a little wave, and then blast out of there. You know, I don't know if that's going to do that exactly. You know, it could be just like another wave back down, and then it might do another wave back down, and then it finally blasts out of there as an example, or it could be starting, getting warmed up right now. More likely it's going to do 1, 2, 1, 2s. That's what you really want to see. So you see how there's 2 in there, 1, 2s, 1, 2s. You'll see something like that over here. You know, like maybe up a little bit, back down, and then come back up a little bit, or maybe come back down to the trend, back up a little bit, and boom, it'll get out of there, in my opinion. So 2023, I think it's going to be a pretty decent year. I know there's a lot of bearish sentiment out there. I look at the those things, what they call those things, those polls they have on Twitter. What do you think? Bitcoin got another low, going to 10K. Most everybody's still bearish, which is good. You want everybody to be bearish. If you're saying Bitcoin's going to do this and everybody agrees with you, you need to question that. Think about that, guys. Like, if I say Bitcoin's going to 35K and everybody on Twitter was like, yeah, man, you're so right. That's the first thing I'd be like, uh-oh, that can't be right. Think about that, guys. You gotta go against the masses. The masses are usually wrong. Okay. It's just you know, it's just common sense. It's common sense. Real traders realize that. Real ones are always against the masses normally. If you made it all the way to the end, do me a huge favor, drop a like, hit the subscribe button. Peace.